Hey, everybody. So what I
Hi.
just asked was, I was talking to Anthony. Somebody in our Discord server sent us a video about somebody abusing animals, and I was told I should probably watch it. Typically, so all my life, I've never had a problem watching videos of people getting killed. You know, I lost a good friend at a very young age. I watched him die.
Oh, wow.
And I do believe that affected my not caring, if that's a thing. It just doesn't death doesn't phase me. But I'm not too much of a man to say I get emotional or I have trouble seeing somebody abusing an animal.
It's different. It's weird because the feeling is different. It shouldn't be. I mean, you would think that you would feel more towards humans, you know?
Yeah, you would think that you would have more compassion for a person than you would for a dog, but I don't.
No.
Okay, I don't know why this popped into my head. Do you remember that guard in Guadalajara or where the fuck it was that we have people and
where she was smoking the cigarette?
Yeah, where it was lining up all the jihads or whatever the fuck they are and making them jerk off and fuck each other or whatever she was doing.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't bother me. But had she been sitting there in front of a bunch of puppies and making them fuck each other, I guess.
Hilarious.
Yeah, there's and that's really why I didn't click on that link. I seen it was in show topics. Here it is.
It's pretty shitty.
Crom 2's Tom Cruise, our comic book artist, put it in there. And I just read what he wrote. Sick bitch hits and spits on her dog. I wouldn't click on it because I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I understand that.
Had he said single mom gets head cut off and face fucked with a dolphin dick, I would have been all over it.
Watched it 3 or 4 times.
I would have finished while I was watching it. Anyway, what? I don't know how I can fucking do this.
How you can play it?
Yeah, I didn't know if. Fuck.
I'm sure it's on YouTube.
You're right. YouTube.
What? I am.
Yeah, but I got to go through a whole bunch of fucking rigmarole to bring it up on the screen so you can see it.
And if you follow this back a little bit, this is a video of her beating the hell out of her dog. And if you followed the steps back a little bit, there's she put out a tweet. I didn't look at the date, but she put out a tweet that said, "My dog responds better to positive reinforcement rather than negative reinforcement," or something like that. And then somebody commented back saying that there are times when you need to hit a dog or something. And she responded with, "You really should try not to hit your dog, or you should try not to be negative to your dog," or something like that, you know? And it was just like, what a shit person. I mean, I think most people are shit people. I think this is not most people hit dogs, but I mean, most people are hypocrites. And, you know, when most people post stuff online, they post, they want people to think of them a certain way.
God damn it. Nothing's working.
I put plastic wrap on the door. I'm going to have him run out. We're just going to see what he does. I don't know. It doesn't faze you? Well, as you can tell.
Oh, yeah, this bitch needs her ass kicked.
Yeah.
I love you.
She's hot, though. So, like, she hit her dog I'm not going to watch it anymore because I don't have the video up. So she hit her dog like 3 times, 3 separate occasions. Her hotness level takes it down to she only hit the dog once. But once is too many times.
Even for somebody that hot, once is too many times.
Yeah. So you liked that episode that we just recorded?
Yeah, well, I wanted to bring it back to that. I thought it was funny. I walked in there and go pee and get some water, and I was laughing my ass off. And I walked in, and my wife said, "That was a really funny episode." That's the first thing she said when I walked out there.
Yeah. I guess I don't know what it takes for me to enjoy the episodes, but that wasn't it. I know I get stressed out when I knew having 4 people on at the same time was going to be an issue. If anything, it's an issue for me. That's three too many people. You know what? You want to do a spoiler? I guess is that
Sure.
It sounds so faggy. We can let all the patrons know what we did, what we recorded before we recorded that episode. We recorded for about an hour.
Yeah.
We just didn't stream it. We're gonna try to edit it and see what happens here. Yeah. All right. So you know who you are that sent us this shit, but we had somebody send us some garbage and we ate it.
It was like garbage from around the world.
This one here I want to pull up. This is so we both ingested some Turkish delight in our mouths.
In our mouths. Right in my face hole.
And we swallowed. Oh, yeah.
Surprisingly chunky.
We like spoiled yogurt. So yeah, we did that. Like 6 different things, I think. We're gonna put them out to our Patreon episode first. Nope. We're gonna put them out to our Patreon first, and then put them out publicly.
Yeah, it's it was interesting. It was that's all I got to say. It was interesting.
I have a feeling we talked about it after we got done.
Mm-hmm.
Those will be the videos that get us kicked off of YouTube.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what we were. Everything that we ate went back to Mexicans. We ate shit from Turkey, Africa. Where else?
Taiwan and India, Croatia. Was that right? Croatia? Was it Afghanistan?
I don't
remember.
Oh, fuck. All right. So we were talking on the show. I wanted to continue that conversation about the gun control.
Yeah.
Hold on. So everybody that's in Discord, pick a fucking chat room. You got people in different chat rooms. Or am I supposed to tell them where to go?
I'm pretty sure one of us is supposed to tell them, go to the right one. Go to the bonus show chat room. That's what this is. Bonus show. Why would you go to a different room? Come on, guys. What?
Fuck. Yeah. All right.
What?
You could light an entire row of Victorian lamps with the amount of grease in your arteries. Yep. All right. So anyway, we
all right. At least it was topical.
Oh fuck! I wanted to do voicemails.
Oh, son of a bitch. Well, that sucks.
I was so eager to get the fuck out of that. Is my audio or my video clear now?
Yeah.
Perfect. Nobody can see it.
Yeah, it was yeah, you were stressed out or whatever. You wanted to be done. I wanted to keep going because I thought it was fun. I was having a blast. It was funny and like it was fun.
All right. So I'm getting to a point now where like I am leaning more and more, and I think I'm on tape saying this in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm like starting to lean towards gun control.
Why?
Because I'm tired of hearing about people getting killed. It's, you know, I'm all for rights and all that shit, but at some point you have to say enough is enough, right? So you have countries where there's not people walking into Walmarts killing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That happens. There's countries where people have never opened fire on a group of other people.
Okay.
Ours it's like, I think there were 3. One of them they're not counting because they were black, but there were 3 people. There were 3 different mass shootings within like a 48-hour period.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we are just getting so desensitized to it now that it's like, yep, there was another one, but you're not taking our guns.
Yeah.
And it, right. And at some point, something's got to change. That
I agree with you on that. Something's got to change. So the it's working out exactly the way that it's supposed to work out. So the it's all everything I say, everybody's going to say conspiracy theory, whatever. But
hold on.
Hold
on. I can't put this comment up on the screen, but there's people in Discord don't agree with me at all. I'll say that. Kaya had a good point. Yeah, those countries have cops knocking on your door if you tweet something offensive.
Right. So you're conflating two things. I think you said
I know I am. I know my argument is flawed. I know that, but I do know that something has to change. So maybe I should have just started with that. And gun control. I don't even know what that means. Strict gun laws or whatever. I don't know what none of that means. I do know that I'm tired of hearing about people getting killed every fucking weekend.
So you're missing the point. You're saying the right words, but you're missing the point. You're tired of hearing about it.
I shouldn't listen.
No. It's not that you shouldn't listen. It's that
I'm being
being
manipulated into falling into what they want me to think, which is the only way to solve this is to take away our guns.
Right.
Then I agree with them.
So why isn't anybody talking about how we should ban cars or anything else where people die? Do you know how many people die in car accidents? Why shouldn't we ban alcohol?
Can I answer the question?
Yeah, I wasn't done asking it, but yeah.
People do not go grab a car and every weekend kill 40 people with it. They're traffic accidents. So you're doing the same thing that fucking Mike Tyson Degrassi High School guy did. You're saying you're focused on this when you should be focusing on this, and this, because more people die from this. The difference is one of these is a weapon that is used to kill people. The other ones are accidents or whatnot, or what have you.
So are those people that died in accidents not dead?
One has nothing to do with the other. One has nothing to do with the other.
It does though.
No, it doesn't.
You're trying to take away people's rights. It does. You're trying to take away people's rights on nothing. And
what do you mean on nothing? I don't understand.
So you think that because some mass shooters go do stupid shit and kill a bunch of people, then I shouldn't be able to have guns anymore. That's taking away people's rights on nothing. Why are we letting people drive cars? Well, I don't understand how you can not equate the two. People die from driving cars all the time, way more than 40 on any given weekend. Okay. Are the people that died in cars not as dead as the people that died from shooters? If the goal here is to save people's lives, then
no, I think the goal here is to. I'm trying to think of how I've got to stop because I want to word this correctly. And I don't have any words that make sense for my argument. So what you are doing is saying that people die in cars, and it's the same as somebody walking into a school and shooting. And to me,
not saying it's the same. I'm not saying it's the same.
Okay,
I'm saying
hold on. I am saying it's two completely different categories. It's two different topics. Like what you should do to address one thing is not the same as you should address the other. People die in cars. People are actively trying to figure out ways to stop people from dying in cars. Seat belts were added. Airbags were added. The total construction of the car itself has changed from 40 years ago to make crumple zones more effective and all that shit. They are actively trying to avoid ways of people dying in cars. Right. They are not actively trying to limit the amount of people dying from gun deaths.
Okay. So I agree with what you're saying. So let's take that route then. what you're talking about, gun control, gun laws, gun whatever, is not equivalent to a seatbelt, because if you put a seatbelt in a car, it will stop people from dying. If you enact gun control, it's not going to stop people from dying. It's just not. It's a stupid thing that will not work other than to take away the rights of legal gun owners.
And all I'm suggesting, hold on. So all I'm suggesting is what is a legal gun owner. That's all I would think needs to change.
Are you asking me, or are you asking the government? Because if you're asking me, I think everybody should be a legal gun owner. I don't know. I think the restrictions that we have on guns now are kind of shitty sometimes.
Okay, and that's where I think the problem lies. Is if you give everybody a gun because they're an American, let you come right out of the puss and you get a shotgun. To me, that's an issue, because there are certain people that should not have access to weapons. And I don't give a fuck if it means you're taking away their rights. I don't give a shit. They shouldn't have a gun. There's people that we determine shouldn't drive. There's people that we determine shouldn't do this, or this. Guns should be no different. And I'm trying to wrap my head around. I seen something come up in the chat, and I'm going to reference it, but I'm trying to wrap my head around, like, when you say they're trying to take away our rights, what does that really mean? Okay, so these rights are something that we came up with, right? And then we've amended those throughout the years.
Sure.
Right. Fourth Amendment, right? That's what we're talking about.
Second Amendment.
What's the Fourth Amendment? Blacks?
That's the 13th. Fourth Amendment is searches and seizures, right?
Searches and seizures. All right.
Like grand mal seizures, I think.
All right. So there was originally we didn't have that right. Then they made an amendment.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's time with the weapons that we have at our disposal to make another amendment.
Okay. That says?
I don't know. I don't have. No,
what are we amending then?
So I don't believe that if you have a AR-15 and it's got the stock, the brown factory stock that comes with it, if you paint it black and put a different buttstock on it, that it's now an assault rifle. I don't believe any of that bullshit. Okay, but assault rifles, that means nothing to me. A rifle is a rifle. It
means nothing to anybody.
No, it does.
It's a scare tactic. It means nothing.
It means something to somebody. Otherwise, they wouldn't try using it. There are people that believe when you say the word assault rifle, you're talking about a black AR-15 with bump stops or whatever.
What you're talking about is a gun that looks scary.
Right. Yeah. It's the same gun, just looks different. Yeah. Okay. I'm not talking about any of that, but something has to change, whether it's the amount of guns that are in the country or it's the people that are allowed to purchase those guns. That's
so.
And
so
you
what
suggesting that anybody, even somebody walking right out of the fucking loony bin, should be able to walk right out of the loony bin and go buy a gun? To me, that is fucked up.
So what if what needs to change is your perception of the problems that face this country? Because what if this isn't as nearly as big of a problem as you've been told it is?
You can say that, but if that's the case, then if you believe that, then you're an idiot. If you think that them 3 shootings didn't happen last weekend.
No, I think they happened. They happened. What do you mean?
And the weekend
because they happened, that means that we have a huge problem in America? I don't understand.
Because they're happening. We have a huge problem in America, not because the media is focusing on them. If they didn't happen, the media couldn't push it out there, right?
Right, but the media. When's the last time the media went down to downtown Chicago and talked about how much of a fucking war zone it is? And people died there every single goddamn day. And nobody talks about that, but mass shootings is what they want to talk about. Why aren't we talking about the real problems that are plaguing the country? Because those problems aren't as easy to market to take guns away.
We got
You're telling me that mass shootings, which however you want to define that, is more of a problem. What?
We have a lag between the audio and the video.
Not on my side.
Okay. How's that?
You got to try harder than that, buddy.
No, anyway, so you saying that more people die in Chicago by gunfire than everybody that was killed in mass shootings the same weekend does not help your argument about gun control. If there were zero guns in this country, right? Let's say the Gestapo or whatever swept through the country and kicked down your door and stole everybody's guns, and there was a big fucking civil war over the disarmament of the country, and then all the dust settled, there would be no more gun violence. Now, there would be bow and arrow violence and knife violence, and people would go back to make it, it's not like you can't make your own gun. You can, if you have basic machining skills, you can make a fucking gun.
Sure.
You don't even need basic machining skills. People in prison make guns,
Right.
So I know that gun control, it's a broad term that puts everybody on the defense. As soon as I say we need to enact,
it
shouldn't. That's the problem. You immediately shut down. As soon as I say we need to do something about guns, you say everything's fine. It's the media. Guns are fine.
No. I didn't say everything was fine. Everything is fucked. Never once did I say everything's fine. I'm telling you, everything is fucked. But when you, just like everybody else, you've accepted that something's got to change. Gun control is probably the best answer. But we've never talked about gun control for the police. The police still need guns, right?
Oh, so no. I'm not even done with that. I have a story here that I wanted to talk about last week, and we had our fucking meltdown. And this is so old news, nobody's going to hear it except for the patrons. I still want to talk about it because I think it is fucking fascinating.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, I'll pull it up now. Hold on.
Oh, I thought you had it. I didn't know it was like a story on the board. I thought you meant like you had a story.
So I'm gonna.
I can't.
I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna read this article, and then you can tell me, because you talking about cops is what sparked it in my head that I want to talk about.
Sure.
The 5 Cleveland cops who took part in a 137-shot execution-style fusillade that killed an unarmed couple over a traffic violation will all get their jobs back. In what can only be referred to as a travesty of justice and a disgrace to the integrity of the police departments nationwide, 5 officers who took part in the 137. What the fuck is this shit? Sorry. 137 shot. I had a pop up. 137 shot execution style. I don't know what that word is. That killed an unarmed couple will get their jobs back. The 6th cop, Michael Brello, will remain free from jail but has been fired. Blah, blah, blah. All right. The shooting came at the end of a November 12, 2012 high-speed chase involving more than 100 officers and 62 police vehicles to go after Timothy Russell and Melissa Williams. The pursuit began when officers standing outside the police headquarters mistook the sound of Russell's backfiring Chevy Malibu for gunfire. When the car stopped outside city limits, officers opened fire, perforating Russell with 24 shots and Williams with 23. The shooting lasted 19.3 seconds. For anyone who's ever been to a shooting range or is familiar with firing weapons, 19.3 seconds would seem like an eternity. As all those rounds were flying down range, to discount the malicious intent of these officers, blah, blah, blah. Brello, hold on. The city has since paid $3 million each to the families of Russell and Williams to settle a lawsuit. Brello, the ring-leading murderer, fired 49 rounds, including the last 15 after he jumped up on the hood of the car in a Wild West fashion. In spite of this horrifying display of aggression, a judge acquitted him of manslaughter charges at trial. So this cop, after all Okay, let's see. 15 rounds minus 137, 122. So there were 122 shots fired at this vehicle. And after all that was done, he jumped up on the hood and fired in through the windshield 15 more times.
Jesus fuck. I bet you he only stopped because he ran out of ammo.
Yeah, I think it's 15 round capacity in a clip, right?
Yes.
So he emptied clip after clip,
Mm-hmm.
put a fresh clip in after all the smoke had cleared. And then
Obviously, nobody in the car is moving.
and then hopped up on the. So I can imagine. So I've told you this before. I couldn't be a cop, right? When I get filled with adrenaline, I do stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
Other than the fact that I would have to hop up onto the hood, I would have done the same thing.
So, how does that factor into our conversation?
You had said that cops with guns, and you're the one that brought up cop gun control.
I know. I'm asking you. How does that factor into what you're saying?
We need to take the guns away from cops.
All the guns away from all the cops?
Yeah.
So, how's the cop supposed to arrest people then?
How do they do it in fucking England or whatever? They have a billy club and, crikeys
Yep.
or whatever the fuck they do.
Yeah, but do you ever think America? We're fucking violent assholes over here.
Right. You don't think that's a fucking problem?
Absolutely, I do. But I don't think gun control is going to solve it. Taking away my rights isn't going to solve your problem. But let's just take away people's rights and see what happens. That's the attitude.
So that's your fucking problem, though, is as soon as somebody suggests that you make an amendment to your bill of to the Constitution,
Mm-hmm.
now you have completely shut everything down. You are standing fast that this is a media problem, and that you know what. If
You're misrepresenting my argument. I'm not standing fast that it's a media problem. I'm standing fast that taking away people's rights isn't the answer. We should be more free, not less free.
Yes, theoretically, until
No, not theoretically.
yes, until every weekend somebody is going into this isn't happening everywhere, right?
Okay. So then what? Then what is the next? What's the next right that we should give up for the next thing that happens? How far do we go before we just don't have any? They don't have rights that we have in other countries. We should fight to keep our rights.
What rights? So I'm talking completely out of my ass. What rights do they not have in Canada that we have here?
They've got human rights tribunals where they can, the government can call you in, basically like a court, because you misgendered someone. We don't have that here. It's not against the law to misgender someone here. They have hate speech laws. We don't have that here. We shouldn't have that here. If we give up any of our rights, well, then especially the one that lets us protect all the other ones, then why don't we just give all of them up?
Okay, if that means
Stupid.
no, so
you're scared,
okay,
and you're willing to give up your
that's right.
rights to
Stop
not be
attacking
scared.
me for a fucking second. How do you suggest we stop it? How do you suggest?
I don't have a suggestion.
Okay.
I don't know.
So we just stand here and wait for more people to die.
No,
And
we
then
just take away our rights.
We'll have the same conversation in 3 weeks when the next fucking Walmarts get shot up or schools or whatever. And right?
Because
How many times have we had the same conversation where I started out by saying, man, I'm really wavering on my thoughts on gun control.
yeah, a lot. We've had a lot. We've had a lot of conversations like that.
And then, my brain works faster than the news cycle, so I'm going to forget all about it by tomorrow. And then 3 weeks from now, we'll be doing the same fucking conversation where I say, fuck, I'm tired of seeing people dying.
And then it doesn't matter because we're old, but in if that's the way we go, which we are, it's going to happen. We're going to lose our guns. I know we are, because people think like you think. So in 20 years, 30 years, whatever, our country is not going to be the same. We will be less free. Do you want to be less free. I don't understand. I don't understand how you can advocate for less freedom. You need somebody to tell people, not just people, you need somebody to tell you you can't do this. Why? Why would you advocate for that?
All I'm suggesting is that we need to do something, right? And
that's even worse. It's worse to just advocate that we need to do something. That's a terrible argument.
Okay. So you suggesting that people walking out of a mental institution,
that was a joke.
Everybody,
that was a joke.
No, you can't in the middle of a conversation backtrack on everything. That is what my argument is founded on, is that not everybody should have guns. And then for you to, and your argument was that everybody should have guns. So as soon as I suggest that in order to purchase a gun, anybody is eligible to apply to purchase a gun, but you have to go through a deep psychological check.
Okay. I have a problem with that. Okay.
Right. Okay. You don't have a counter.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Absolutely, I do. A deep psychological check. Who gets to decide who's too crazy to have a gun?
Me.
Right.
I have been institutionalized before. We've talked about that.
Okay.
I know what crazy is.
My argument always goes back to the same thing. Whatever you're talking about, who gets to decide? I mean, we don't agree.
So
I actually, you know what? I was wrong. I do have an answer. You asked me for a solution. I do have an answer. I think that the United States of America is too big with too many people. Some states need to secede. We need to break up the United States into smaller, completely separate entities. The shitheads can live over here. The other shitheads can live over here. You want to run a country with no guns. Okay, take California and whatever other states are that way. Just take that part of the country. That's your new country, and you make the fucking most liberal laws that you want, and we'll think logically over here where we let our people be free, and we'll see what happens. You want
to? Somebody in Discord's asking you how many guns you own.
3.
And I bet they don't even have any bodies on them, do they, you pussy?
Nope.
I don't know, man. All I know is that's fine. I don't believe that everybody should have access to a gun. There's nothing you can
I don't
say.
either. I seriously was joking about that. I agree with you on that. There should be some regulations on who can have guns, but mental health can't be one of those regulations because there's zero way to determine if somebody is mentally healthy.
Fuck you. I've seen people eat their own poop. Don't tell me there's no way to determine.
Right. And there's stories all the time of, I can't believe he killed 14 people. He was such a nice guy. He was so quiet. He kept to himself. There are times when people are fucking crazy and they can hide it.
Yeah, so what?
So then how do you tell?
There's people that are crazy that can't hide it.
Right. So you're going to just take away rights? That's my problem with all of this is that it makes people less free. If you can't handle freedom, then move to somewhere where they don't have freedom.
All right, Trump.
I mean, I'm being how is that Trump? I don't understand. So you can't handle freedom because it scares you too much. So you want to take my freedom away for your own comfort. No,
I want to take. Okay, are you crazy?
It depends on who you ask.
Man. Okay, so Bob wrote, selling guns privately between non-dealers needs to be regulated further. Now, what that means is if Anthony has a gun and he wants to sell it to me, then you're suggesting that the government should come in. And I instantly have a problem with that, even though it helps me.
That's awesome.
It helps me with my argument
Mhm.
because I should have said I agree with that.
Yep.
But as soon as I go on that side of it, then I start thinking, how far do I want the government up my ass every time I make a transaction?
You're thinking the same way I think, but you're letting your emotions overtake the logical side of your brain.
Okay, so there's two options.
Mhm.
Okay, every weekend, let's say every weekend was like last weekend where there's 3 or 4 shootings,
Okay.
mass shootings, where people just, set up sandbags and go up to the clock tower and start popping people off.
Okay.
You either change something
Mhm.
or you will allow it to continue. That's your two options.
Okay.
I feel like you have to change something.
Okay.
What do you suggest? Keeping just standing back and saying, "Well, I made it through this weekend. It doesn't apply to me."
No,
or
that's not the case at all.
This is the cost of living free. Is that because that could be your stance?
It is the cost of living free, but there's a potential that I agree with you that something needs to change, but what needs to change? That's
No. So we're gonna work through this coherently. Okay. So there's two choices. One is it's the cost of freedom. We are choosing not to do anything. And the other one is we have to change something. Which one? Choose your own adventure, bitch. Just like grade school. Which one do you pick?
but what you're
Unless you can think of a third option.
do
'Cause I
nothing
think-
or do something. You're asking me do nothing or do something,
Yes.
right? Okay. So okay, sure, do something.
No. So don't get all defensive.
Because what you're trying to do is paint me into a
I'm
corner
not
where I say
trying
do
to
something.
do anything, Anthony. I am just asking questions. Do something, do nothing. Pick one.
It depends on what the something is.
We haven't worked to that yet. I don't have a something in mind. I'm going to let you pick the something. Just work with me here. Do something or do nothing.
Okay, do something.
Okay, so then with something, we either have to go after the people or the guns. There's no other options in there.
Yes, there is.
What?
Your suggestion is we have to go after. We don't have to go after anything. Why can't we put money, effort, and time into figuring out why this is happening?
Okay. Money, effort, and time to put into why this is happening.
Right.
So you were going to go after the people. It is a people problem. It is not a gun problem.
Yeah, that I agree with 100%. Yes.
Okay. So I'm not trying to trap you into anything. I don't have an end game. I'm trying to work through this with you in a way that makes sense. And the only way that makes sense is you start splintering it off and breaking away from having conversations about it being a this problem. We've already established that doing nothing is not an option. Doing something is the option.
Okay.
Doing something with guns, not an option. So now we're at people. Okay. Okay. So if you've narrowed it down to being I got to quit looking at the fucking comments.
Mhm.
So if you have, okay. So you've got it narrowed down to being a people problem.
Yeah.
And now what you are suggesting is we take a bunch of money, a bunch of resources, and we look into why this is happening.
Absolutely.
What does I'm not trying to trap you, okay? I'm not going to say that again because it's repetitive and boring. What does that mean? Like how what does that look like?
I'm not sure what you mean. So there's got to be a reason why. So we've had gun rights for as long as we've had a country, right? But for some reason now we're having these problems. So what happened? What is wrong with society? What is the driving force behind this?
Okay.
What's causing people to act this way or feel that they need to act this way? I don't know how we would figure that out.
Do you think there's any relationship to the lack of funding in this country? So I don't know how we got to this point, but the lack of funding in this country for mental health patients or people with mental health issues,
mm-hmm.
and the accessibility of firearms. Because I can't pull an example out where somebody just went to a gun show, bought a gun, and murdered 30 people. You know, it's all people that followed the proper steps, had legal guns that I know of.
Sure. So I don't think that you can quantify how big of an impact that has, not only lack of mental health care, but general stigma towards mental health problems. I think that downplaying mental health problems in general, which everybody does, everybody thinks that if there's something wrong with you mentally, then you should, like, you can't, it's a stigma to go to try to get it fixed. You know what I mean? Like it's not like your arm is broke. Go ahead.
I've been through it. Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So you know what I'm talking about. So the availability of gun. No, I mean, I don't think that's the problem, but I don't know that it's all a mental health issue. I think that it goes back to the same thing. I think that they are trying to push the mental health aspect of it because it's easy, first of all, and because it's not quantifiable, so they can't say for sure one way or another, so they can kind of fudge the numbers, and they can, since it's not quantifiable, they can say, well, here's the parameters that we are going to set on if you're crazy or not to have a gun. It's one more way that they can, under the radar, fly in the idea of more control over guns. They can use that argument against the general population.
You're getting away from where we were. We were working towards something, and your conspiracy theory mind kicked in, and you circled back to they and them. If you can't put a name on it, so it's not helping. If I say they want to shut us down, they want to shut down this show, who the fuck is they?
It depends on who you're talking about. Are you talking about YouTube, or, I mean, the patrons want to shut down the show? So that's
stop. No, I'm going right back to where we were, because we were headed somewhere. Okay, so it's a mental health issue, or it's a too easily accessible guns issue, or it's a mixture of the two. I don't believe that a sane person, a person with complete wherewithal and proper brainage, would go into a building and start shooting strangers. I can see, like, the Covina massacre, where you go to a house and you start killing family members.
Mm-hmm.
I can see the rage. That's a personal thing. That's different than killing a bunch of strangers. Okay. For you to suggest that the government is focusing, maybe I misheard you. I think you suggested that the government.
What?
Jacob in the Discord said, "So are you guys going to talk about dicks or something eventually?"
Maybe.
Nah. Maybe we'll get to it. I don't know.
Maybe we'll get to it.
So you're saying they are pushing the mental health issue because it's not quantifiable, but we already determined that it's either a too many guns problem, or
we didn't determine that. You just said that,
and
since you said it, you went with it.
You and I worked. I said, give me a third option.
So you think that the only problems are either too many guns or mental health issues. That's literally the only thing that we could ever cause these problems.
Yeah, that's the only things that I came up with. I asked you if you had any other ideas. I don't think you can be sane and kill a bunch of, even religious reasons. Same thing. All right. Agree to disagree. How's that?
Well, I mean, what you're trying to make this like very, very, very cut and dry, black and white. Either you believe this or this or this. Well, it's so much more complex than you would ever. But you're trying to distill it down into a binary conversation where it can't be. The problems is so complex, and it's not right to try to have an argument where you want to make it. Well, it's this simple. It's not that simple.
All right. Like I said, agree to disagree. That we're not getting anywhere. We fundamentally disagree on what the issue is and whatever.
But we didn't like 2 weeks ago, right?
And I think that's why I started it off by saying I think my views are changing. It's okay for your views to change on things.
I agree 100%. I'm trying to get to why. I mean, why are they changing?
I told you. I already told you this. That just means you don't listen.
I do listen. So your views change because you're tired.
I got new. No, my views changed because I got new information.
What? More people died?
Yeah,
that was your new information?
Yeah, 37 new names were added to the people that were killed by fuckheads with guns list.
But
that was new information. So when you get new data, you reassess the data, make a new decision. And all I said was, I think my decision or my view is changing a little bit. And you said you're not taking away my rights.
But because what you're saying is not. What you're saying is the answer should be more gun control. And
I said something needs to change.
Okay. So Illinois and Chicago and specifically has the strictest gun control laws in the country. And they kill more people with guns every single day. But that doesn't bother you? And they've been doing it for years. But one weekend of a couple massacres and now your view, I don't understand how you're quantifying why you're outraged about one thing and not outraged about another thing. I mean, I think I know why, but I want you to come to see why.
Those two types of shootings are different in my mind. I believe that the reason why I don't think anything about drive-bys in Chicago affecting me is because they don't. I'm not in a gang. I don't partake in shitty activity, and I live in a pretty decent neighborhood.
Okay.
So the chances of me getting shot by a black guy doing a drive-by where I live are slim and none.
Okay. So you should look up the chances of you getting shot in a mass shooting.
I promise you they are higher. Okay. They are, for one simple reason. I don't live in Chicago. I don't go to Chicago. I'm not in a gang. I don't associate with people that you associate with.
Me? What?
The motives behind the two shootings are different. If one person takes another person's turf or whatever the fuck they call it, and they say we're going to take our turf back, young blood, ride or die, and they spray the block. I don't give a shit. That's the cost of dealing drugs. So going to Walmart and looking for what fucking crackers and cheese and shit, and you get shot. That shouldn't be the cost of going shopping.
Okay. It's so weird. So weird. So it's not that people are dying. It's that there's a chance
white
white people are dying. So I can't even wrap my head around what you're saying. You don't give two shits that people are dying. Like people die, whatever, have as many guns as you want. But as soon as the media tells you you're supposed to be outraged, now we need to take guns away. That's what's happening.
No, you're telling me that if I say something and it was on the news, then the media affected what I believe. You are not listening to what I'm saying. Okay. So you think that somebody walking into a school and shooting 30 kids at random, just popping little 5-year-olds off like duck hunt, pow, pow, then the dog runs. You think that is this? We didn't even do our sponsors on the regular fucking episode. Fuck. Hold on, I'm gonna do that now.
All right.
No, man, I had all kinds of shit planned. We're not having people on anymore. Tired of it. Look at.
Hey, look at that.
The Your Sticker Store.
Yeah, sweet.
So I set up the 2 promo codes and everything.
Yep.
So you go to yourstickerstore.com, promo code either Doug or promo code Anthony, and you get free shipping. So you can get one of these stickers sent to you or all the stickers sent to you, whatever. But literally $1. There's nothing extra on top of it. God damn it. I can't believe I forgot to fucking do that. We're going back. We're going back to the regular stream.
They're saying in the chat that Crom Trues doesn't have access. Is he supposed to have access?
Yeah.
What are we missing here? What are we missing here? I don't see why he wouldn't. He's got the same as everybody else. What are we missing? Do we have it set up to where only which patrons can get into the chat? Fuck, I don't even remember how the fucking shit's set up.
So our comic book artist that is paying us doesn't have access.
Oh yeah, what the fuck? Can we invite? How do we invite him in? I don't know how to fucking work fucking Discord. I'm so fucking bad at Discord.
What? God damn it, Anthony.
What? What, you expect me to just know it?
No, I expect you to have this shit straightened out. I don't want to have to fucking deal with it.
I don't know how to do it. I don't. Not only do I not know how to do it, I don't even know what to do.
It shows he's in here.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. He's in the bonus show right here. I see him. So I don't understand what the problem is. Did you try typing something into the chat thing? I got nothing.
All right. Fuck it.
He said he can't type in there at all. What the fuck? That's some bullshit. You should be able to. I don't get it.
Hey, if any of you guys in Discord know Crom 2s, have him send you direct messages and then put it in the fucking chat. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how to work this thing. I'm an idiot. I'm a boomer, I guess.
All right. They keep wanting us to talk about this fucking article.
Which one?
Robot racism. Yes, says a study. Well, fucking goddamn, fucking send me an article that's got pop-ups and shit. I'm agitated.
I can tell. I'm not sure why, but I can tell.
Well, because we stopped in the middle of a fucking conversation because the Discord shit ain't working. I'm tired of fucking Discord. Have you ever noticed the popularity of white robots? You see them in films like Will Smith's I, Robot and E from Wall-E. Real life examples include Honda's Simo, Walker, Boston Dynamics Atlas, and even this, all made of shiny white metal. And some real life humanoid robots are modeled after white celebrities. So, the reason for these shades of technological white may be racism, according to new research.
Of course.
You know what? So, you know that in my past, I have programmed robots. You know that.
Yes.
And they were yellow robots.
Yes.
Where are yellow robots made? Japan.
In China. Or Japan. My bad. That's all saying to me.
What are Japanese people?
Yellow.
I think they're onto something here. Robots and Racism, a study conducted by Human Interface Technology Laboratory in New Zealand and published by the country's University of Canterbury, suggests people perceive physically human-like robots to have a race and therefore apply racial stereotypes to white and black robots.
These people are so stupid.
These colors have been found to trigger social cues that determine how humans react to and behave towards other people and also apparently robots. The bias against black robots is a result of bias against African Americans, lead researcher Christoph Bartnek. I've got to do a fact check here. What color do you think Christoph is?
Christoph sounds Mexican.
So
French Mexican.
I don't know how black people are called in. Damn it, he's white.
Ah, damn.
He's super. He looks like Carl from WATP.
I don't even. Oh, that sucks. I don't even know what Carl looks like.
Holy shit! I got to put this up.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Carl looks like.
All
so
right,
maybe
so I'm going to take a picture. This is going to be too much fucking work, but I've got to put it in the Discord for those fucks. Why can't you guys just watch us on YouTube and then it makes my life easier? All right. And then I got to put it on YouTube. Fuck. I'm getting agitated.
Oh shit.
All right. I didn't even share it on the right fucking screen. Fuck.
So which one looks like Carl? Oh.
There we go. Fuck me.
He looks like a nerd.
See,
Carl.
wasn't that worth it?
Yes. Carl looks like a nerd.
Fuck you, Crispy. I'm tired of your fucking mouth.
Too many pauses in this episode.
So, Anthony, here's something I decided today. Due to our recent interactions in Discord and emails and Twitter and all that, I have decided that I am no longer going to be nice to our listeners. And it is going to cause us to lose money.
Oh, all right. I'm okay with that.
Okay, very good.
I mean, what am I going to tell you? No.
Nobody puts.
I called Amanda a whore when she was still a listener.
I'm tired of being everybody's punching bag. Nobody puts baby in the corner. All right. The bias against black robots is a result of bias against African Americans, lead researcher Christoph Bartnek explained to the Next Web. He told CNN it's amazing to see how people who had no prior interaction with robots show racial bias towards them. The researchers think this is an issue that needs to be addressed. If robots are supposed to function as teachers, friends, or carers, for instance, then it will be a serious problem if all these roles are only ever occupied by robots that are. So this is easy.
Paint some of them black?
No. That This is fucking stupid. If you're going to make different colored robots, give the appearances.
Yeah.
You make the black robots work in the fields and the white robots work in the office.
So why can't they just switch it? Why can't they make like all the white robots are like service robots and all the black robots are the whatever the good robots do? The war robots or whatever.
The war robots.
I don't fucking know. What do good robots do?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not reading any more of that article, but
All right.
I'm trying to think of which direction to go with this. It's stupid. So racism in and of itself is fucking stupid.
Right.
Thinking that you can look at somebody and determine what kind of self or what kind of human they are is stupid.
Agreed.
Making fun of somebody for how they look, perfectly acceptable.
Encouraged.
So do you think that people are actually psychologically programmed to look at a black robot and think that it's going to rob you?
No. Wait, maybe. I don't know, because if I saw a black robot,
Okay.
well, I don't know. It depends on if its pants were hanging down half off its ass. Read how they conducted the study.
God damn it.
Apparently, we're missing the best part.
The robots used in the study of clear run a simple solution for robots. All right. Robot designers come from all over the world, Bartnick pointed out, yet they still idealize white robots. Human-shaped robots should represent the diversity of humans. Imagine a world in which all Barbie dolls are white. Imagine a world... So? What's wrong with that? Okay, at Christmas time, when they do the Christmas Barbies, there's always the white Christmas Barbies sold out. Black ones stockpiled up everywhere.
Right.
Why even make them?
Well, I mean, whatever the percentage is, just make 13% of them black or whatever the percentage is.
God, you missed it. You take however many they make and only make 3/5 of those next year.
Damn it. Son of a bitch. That was an easy one, too.
Further imagine these robots take over roles that involve authority. Clearly, this would raise concerns about imperialism and white supremacy. What?
Yeah.
You say that I jump in my logic. Robots are not just machines, but they represent humans. No, they don't.
No, they're machines.
In a second study, the HIT Lab New Zealand team added lighter brown robots, finding that as they increased the racial diversity, participants' racial bias towards the robots disappeared altogether. This potentially means that diversification of robots might lead to a reduction in racial bias towards them. This leads me to believe that we have everything to win by offering racial options and nothing to lose, in the same way that we do want Barbie dolls in colors and shapes. We also want robots in more than just white.
I'm super confused. How do we determine that white robots are racist?
Is that the part that I was supposed to read?
I don't. He said, read how they conducted the study. I didn't tell how they conducted the study.
Okay, here. The robots used in the study are clearly robots, but have human-like limbs and a head, with exterior complexions that are white, which is to say pinkish or black, really a deep brown. In the shooter bias test, black and white people and robots appeared on a screen for less than a second, and participants were told to shoot those holding a weapon. Black robots that were not holding weapons were shot more than white ones not carrying weapons. Wait. So I got to read this again. In the shooter bias test, black and white people and robots appeared on a screen for less than a second, and participants were told to shoot those holding a weapon. Black robots that were not holding weapons were shot more than white ones not carrying weapons. Run a simple Google image search on the term robot. You won't see a lot of color, as pointed out in the study. The researchers see this is fucking stupid. Don't you think that if there were the majority of scientists were black, then the majority of robots would be black?
No. No. I don't think that any
bullshit.
Do you really think that there were scientists that got together and said we need to make these robots white? Do you think that they put that much thought into it?
That's why I'm saying it. If there were 40 scientists that built a robot, that robot is going to be black because people are making them in their own likeness. And if there's 40 black people in a room, they're not going to make the conscious decision to make it. We've got to make this black because we're black.
All right.
It's just when they go to make it, they're going to make it black.
All right, listen. You ever had a white car?
Yes.
You ever had a black car?
Sure. Yes.
It's very difficult to keep a black car clean. Right? so when they make robots that have a finish to them,
Anthony, we're talking
to make a white robot look nicer.
Here's the problem. You didn't look at the article, right?
No, not at all.
All right. So I'm going to show you the type of robots that we're talking about, and then you're going to say, oh. Right there.
I stand by it. When you say white, I think white, but not like white skin.
Yeah, they're making them like people.
Oh. Well, yeah, you're right then. If they were 40 black scientists, they'd be fucking black. But don't most of these robots get made in Asia? Somewhere? Japan?
All I was going to suggest is if more black people went to school and became scientists, we'd have more black robots. I bet there is an equal number. The ratio is the same of white scientists and white robots to black scientists and black robots.
But if you had a gun and you shot robots, which one would you shoot that didn't have the gun? What the stupidest fucking thing I ever heard. I think we should take that test. That active shooter test or whatever you said.
I'm trying to think if I can make one real quick.
I took one. Don't you remember? It said that I had a strong preference for Caucasians or something.
Yeah, you took a test and it said you were racist.
Yeah. Did you take it? I don't remember.
Yeah, it said I wasn't racist.
Do you remember what it was? It like flashes the people on the screen, and you have to like right, left. It just shows that I'm stupid. I'm not racist. I'm just stupid. I can't follow that fast in my head.
All right. Are we done?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask you. Are we done? Whew. That wasn't nearly as fun as our show. Amanda was cracking me up.
That pisses me off, man. I had all this shit that I wanted to do, and I got so fucking flustered with the internet.
Don't be pissed off. It was funny. That's the whole goal. I thought it was funny.
Well, I know. Essentially, we're just recording the audio version for us to put out as a podcast. So, whatever.
I don't know. I thought it was funny. So, it was a win.
Right.
What?
I was going to play a voicemail.
Oh,
just because I wanted to play it.
Have at her.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.